Welcome back to Design Bundles YouTube channel. If you guys are new here, my name is Crystal, and today we are going to make a super adorable 3D shadow box. Now, I've already pre-cut these out using my Cricut Explorer 3, but you could definitely use your Silhouette to do this, your StarCraft Solo, all sorts of different die cutting machines. So what's really cool is this is actually only 4 layers. Now, I do have an extra piece of cardstock for my very back layer that I'm going to place on the very back of this. So anything that you can see through there would be this gray layer here. Now for that layer, you can actually cut it with your Cricut right there inside of Cricut Design Space, bring in a square, size it out, or just like me, it makes it as easy just to use my paper trimmer for that. So that's what I'm going to do here. I've got a shadow box right here that I've already pulled out the glass on, but you don't have to do that. I definitely do, so I don't have glare on my camera. It's just better for photos. So I've just pulled out my glass. So I've got those here, and then I've got some 3D foam circles. Now you can use the 3D foam squares, whatever you have. This is what's going to give it that 3D effect. So we've got this here. Now we're ready to go. Once again, I've already cut this out. Now, one thing I want to keep in mind is I'm going to drop the camera down below so I can show you how to size it. When you go to size this, one thing you need to do is keep in mind that if your shadow box has this little lip on the inside, so it may very well be, you know, say for example, this one's about 8 1/4 wide here on the back for this back piece here, but it has this lip in here that it needs to go in between. So what you need to do is actually measure from there, which I got about 7.6. So I did a 7.6 on all of these. So I just sized them all together at 7.6 right inside of Cricut Design Space. And then, like I said, I'm actually going to use my paper trimmer for this. So once again, I can just measure here to be precise. So I'm actually going to do 8.25 for this using the paper trimmer. So let's go and do that now. So we're going to set this guy out of our way. So I'm going to bring in my next piece of cardstock. All of the supplies that we're using today, I'm going to have a link down below for you guys. So you guys can definitely find those in the description area. All right, so let's go ahead and do this. I'm going to bring it in this way first, and I'm going to do the 8.25. All right, and then we're going to rotate it, and I just need to take off 1/4 here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'm actually going to do it this way to make it easier. So 8.25, and then I'm just going to take off that little bit there on the end, and this is what's going to cover this perfectly. Now, for me, you can definitely use a double-sided adhesive tape runner for this, so you can just run some double-sided adhesive here on the back and then place this down. But because I use my shadow box over and over again, so you can switch it out from the holidays, different themes like this, or Easter, Christmas, things like that, I'm just actually going to use my 3D foam dots here, one on each corner and one on the center on the back. So this is going to allow me to be able to swap this out as needed. Now, if this is something that is permanent, you're making this as a gift for somebody, definitely just use some double-sided adhesive here for your back piece. So let's go ahead and start there. So these are the foam dots that I'm using today, foam circles, if you will. Get those out of our way. And then we're going to pop this down. So I can go ahead and get one on each corner. All right, and then I can get one in the center there. So I'm just going to go ahead now and remove all of these back pieces here. Now, if you don't have nails, one thing to remove these pretty easy too is your weeding tool. So that'll definitely help out as well. All right, so we are now going to take this here, and we're just going to line it up on our back piece here. So I may need to adjust this to make sure I've got it all the way down here at the bottom like so. So I think this looks good. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to work my way from the back piece here all the way up to the front. So I'm going to flip these over, and then what we're going to do is I need to center this right here. So I'm going to flip this guy over, and we're going to start to get these pieces on. So all of my corners here, I can actually use bigger pieces like so. There we go. And that's pretty good. I could probably even, if I want to, get one right here and then get some at the top and the bottom just for extra support as well. Once again, we're just simply going to pull all of these pieces off just like so. So I think this is probably the most challenging piece, is getting all of these tiny little pieces off. This is such a fun craft. So I really love this, kind of like how puzzles are. You can really start to see it come to life as you're slowly putting this together. This is a great project for the kids. You know, you cut it out and let them put it together. There's not any like real sharp objects with this. If you already have everything pre-cut, you basically give them the foam stickers and let them, you know, do all the work. So once we've got our pieces here, we're just going to go ahead and even this up. I'm going to try to use my camera here to get it nice and straight. So something about like that. Now, before you go any further, you could always do a test run here. So we could just pop it back down in here, flip it over, and just make sure everything is where we want it to be. So everything looks great. So we're going to go ahead and keep going. All right, so we are ready for our next layer here. I'm going to keep on going, get all 4 corners here. I'm actually going to bring in another one. I really like to use my bigger foam dots here for the big pieces. Just like so. Get one here on the door. So right now it's just kind of figuring out where to go to get it to be, you know, stable and support itself up. So like something right there looks good. And then once again, maybe get one at the, you know, tops and the sides and things if you can. So something about like that looks good to me. Let me actually get rid of that one. Bring in another one here. There we go. Once again, just go ahead and peel all of these pieces off. Now I want to know down below, let me know in the comments section if you guys have made any of these shadow boxes. If you have, which ones have you done? We have tons of them to choose from. Like I said, Easter, Christmas. There's even ones that have super cute families. You could do a wedding gift, you know, there's a couple where you could do that and then put their name and their wedding date on the front. Lots of different things that you could do with these. So I think we've got everything. So now we are ready to line up our next layer. Now, because these ones are the same size, all I'm simply having to do is line them up like so. There we go. Perfect. And then just carefully pressing down in those areas. So you guys can start to see that come to life here on the side. All right, so we are going to bring in our next layer. Now, if you ever get confused, a lot of times these are pretty easy to kind of look at. So say, for example, this one has this little line that's on the jar. And so I'm able to just continue to line those up right there. So if you ever get confused, go refer back to your design as well. So really look at that. Or like I said, sometimes it's easy to follow something just like that. All right, so if you guys follow me live doing these, you guys know that I always confuse my own self flipping those around. So I'm going to go ahead and continue to pop these down. Once again, just kind of finding an area that is, you know, big enough for me to place these into, you know, make it more stable and hold itself up over time. All right, just like that. Once again, I'm going to go ahead and peel these off. So after this one, we are going to be down to our last layer. Now, once again, these are so cute too. You know, you could put your child's name on it. Like this one right here would be so cute to put your child's name on the front of the glass and then place this in their room on their dresser or shelf or something like that. Would be so, so cute. This would be a great gift to make for the grandkids. So cute. Perfect for a birthday gift and all of those things. Even Mother's Day. We've got some for Mother's Day that are really cute as well. All right, so once again, I'm just lining everything up and then carefully pressing down on those foam dots. Once again, we can really start to see that come to life. All right, so we are on our last layer here. I'm going to go ahead and once again, go over all 4 corners here with my big pieces. And then I think I need to drop it down to the medium ones right here. And then I'll go ahead and get some small ones on the side right there. So I think that looks good to me. Pretty happy with it. And then we're just going to peel all of these pieces off. Now, whenever you bring this inside of, say, for example, Cricut Design Space, you know, Silhouette Studio, you can customize and choose whatever color you're going to do. So that's what I did, was I played around with the colors right there inside of, you know, Cricut Design Space, and that allowed me to really customize this before I, you know, cut it out. So I knew these colors were going to go well together. So I'm going to go ahead and line up these pieces right here. So I'm going to make sure that looks good right there. Now I think I'm actually going to go in and pop one small one into this guy right here. So I'm going to go ahead and just get one back right there, peel this off. and then carefully lay that guy back down. Perfect, I'm happy with it. Now for our last step, we just simply got to bring back over our shadow box, flip this guy upside down, and then just get all of these little pieces back in. Now, for example, the shadow box I'm using today is actually one that you can make a piggy bank. So this is all I could find. I wouldn't recommend that because you can definitely get it much cheaper. We have one linked down below for you guys. But what would be really pretty is to put some fairy lights in here at the bottom. Would be absolutely gorgeous as well. But you guys can see how super cute this came out. Such a fun project. Once again, put your kiddo's name right here at the bottom or even all the way across here. But I think at the bottom would be really cute to place this on a shelf. But this would also just be really pretty. The different colors you could do to place this in your living area, your office space, whatever you would like. And there you guys have it. You can see how easy it is to make your very own 3D shadow box. Now remember, if you guys recreate these projects, use the hashtag design bundles so that way we can definitely see them. We would love to check them out. Now, if you guys enjoyed this, if you guys found it helpful, please hit the like button down below and subscribe, and we'll see you guys on the next one.